Alright, it's my trend review, and again, it's for educational purposes only, like a journal. Alright. So there's this trade setting up before, for me, like for education purposes, etc., etc. Anyway, where am I? Okay. So this was overnight action, Sunday night. It went down. Up here, there was not a lot of demand, so setting up for a pullback. Went into spring position, went up on demand, had no supply, and continued. Then it reacted, and all of this was. It's a little difficult to read, but you just have to watch like where the ease of movement bars are. So you have ease of movement, and then you have all this shit that just comes back into those same areas. And then eventually there was a ER signal, but I like have to qualify that with judgment because you will eventually learn that signals are the purpose, in my opinion, is that they just give you data like indicators. They give you the you can't have like buy and sell. It just won't work. Um, I don't know how other people do it, but from what I've seen, the use of indicators is best used to get data. Okay, data, not buy and sell, just data. So it goes down. You have possible effort reward because it's heavy volume, right? And they're now it's not making a low low. Instead, you have an ease of movement bar, which tells me like it's high probability that this is effort reward that they're buying on the pullback, and that's what happened. Um, you have good volume on the way up, good ease of movement. Oh, it's too big. Let me get rid of this. Anyway, so this is a good area to buy off of. It's demand. I come back down to demand area, and in my opinion, like it started moving sideways. What was relevant here was this box. You know, it has demand in it, and it was like a box, which usually when accumulation is done or distribution, you have a tight range. Then this rally in high volume was extremely important, telling you that you know, like it's possible that it's going to go into markup, right? And that's what happened. Like that, you have ease of movement, markup. You have high volume pullback, bang, right there. Ease of movement goes up. Anyway, what was and the wave volumes were also they are apparent, like over here, and then look at this. Compare what happened. Less. It tried, to go down. Instead, it reversed. So what happened to these sellers? They're joining in. They have to cover. If they sold, they have to cover. And then after that, like remember, you're taking a look at the buying versus selling. It's very clear that the buyers are stronger than the sellers. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. So, and then again, buying comes in. So, who's stronger? Buyers, right? But, I mean, it's not just that. Like, this whole thing, in my opinion, was reaccumulation. And it's like, sometimes it's very obvious because it even has that shape, that was the arrow. That the left head, right head, whatever. Um, there's a rally in the background, and it has that corrective shape, and it has that inverse head and shoulders look, and then it is like going in a sideways box, and then it's breaking out on high volume, and it has thrusts and thrusts here, ease of movement, making a higher high, higher low, going from this low to this low to higher high on volume. So all, and the trend is already up. You know, the green over the green average over the red average. So it's even if you don't see it, would you short this? Like, that's the point. It's just after a while, this thing it becomes very obvious that this is a rally, this is the consolidation. That consolidation isn't really a consolidation; it's reaccumulation given this volume. You know, good volume, lack of supply, etc., etc., etc. This becomes what, Wyckoff also said something about a wide range of support, and that sets up that wide range of support, which is very likely reaccumulation, followed by high volume, and then bang, this was the markup, this was the trade. And then it started moving sideways, and what the hell happened here? 1 second. I think my chart is messed up. There we go. And then it pulls back on heavy volume to what happens after breakout? You test the breakout, right? So it goes up, and that's what it does. Breakout, then correct, and test, and then it'll see if their buyers are still there from the area that the breakout occurred. So I understand that over here there's no demand, and here it's extremely heavy volume, right? But it can't do any damage. Even though there's a supply and no demand here, it can't do any damage, and it doesn't take out the low. So already, remember, whenever you have a rally, right, it goes like this, or any cycle. You're going to have buy signals where? Here. Somewhere around here. Right? When it breaks out or whatever, you have buy signals. But even if you're trending or whatever, you're going to have some type of sell signal on this side. Where's the arrow? On here. Oh shit, it drew it backwards. Anyway, so the point is, because it is going down, it is going down to test this area. It's always, you have rally, pullback, rally, pullback. That's the nature of markets. So that's why, don't get too caught up in the red and all that. You just understand that even though it's heavy volume, this, that, it's holding the low. It does not break the low, and it's expected. It's on the right hand side of a cycle. Obviously, the it's pulling back. So after it's done, it's 1, 2, 3. What happens? Bang! Higher high, right there. The white swing up, comes down, comes up on heavy volume. What's it saying? It's saying the bulls are back, baby. Right? So I need to get a drink. Right here, the bulls are back. Right there, they're back. And now you get the indication of what happens. Supply is gone. NS, no supply. And what happens after that? 81 up, 27 down, supply is gone, and you get ease ease of movement. Ease of movement. Look at the strength here. Okay, look, everything is making sense. They're done with their correction, which means very likely. Let me see if they reaccumulated here. You know, it's very likely that they did, because this type of volume on 108, right? This is very, very high volume. Okay, so this is where I think they pulled it back and just bought. It's, if sometimes this is a change of behavior, meaning a sign of weakness based on the volume, but again, you have to use judgment and realize that no, it can't be, because it was immediately taken out. So they're buying on the pullbacks. They're not selling to break the market. They're actually buying on. They take the other side of this. They're taking the other side of this, and it's very apparent after it makes a higher high, makes a higher low, and then makes another higher high on 81. And making a higher low again, and you got good ease of movement, follow through, and good ease of movement. Look at the ease of movement here. Look at that. There's some indicator I created in which, let's just say it gives me a good understanding of strength of the bulls and the bears at a bar level. Like over here, you could, get it based on the wave level, but I wanted something to tell me about, bar strength, and not just by looking at its length or whatever, but as you can see, look at this, and look at this. This is a complete takeover by the bulls. This market, again, this is for education, my education purposes only. It's a trend review, but this shit is in markup, and they can sellers are gonna get their ass kicked right over here. No supply, unbelievable ease of movement, strong demand, accumulation in the background, rally in the background, trend in the background. Sellers fail to take it lower. If they are short, they have to cover. Now it's going up here. This thing is gonna fly. Again, education purposes only, my opinion for my journal, but I want in. Like, obviously you're not gonna get up long here, because it's not it's too much risk. But let's see, like over here, maybe there's a reaction or something, and get a nice pullback entry into somewhere around here, somewhere in this area, and it's very likely they're gonna go here. But the question is it gonna go deeper? And whoever sold this, like this down bar, they would have to cover as well. If they're sellers here, they would have to cover, because they're trapped right here. Go down. If they're sellers, they would have to cover right there. So I really don't know what the fundamental news is, but there's something going on in the markets, because there's a significant amount of strength even on the higher time frames that came out. It must have come out over a weekend, or maybe it didn't come out and it's gonna come out, and someone knows something and the markets are going higher. But there is some catalyst. The tape says that someone knows something, because the strength that came in over the weekend is quite significant. So we'll see. Like, I really don't know what, but look at this. Look at what it did. Friday it's going down. Monday or Sunday night, look at this. Bang. And it continues up. Continues up. Continues up. Continues up. Is that normal? Maybe, but I think there's some news either came out already or will come out. But I think it's some bullish news. I could totally be wrong, and this maybe just tape action, or maybe they reverse it later in the week. But that this volume coming in, and just to show you in the higher time frame chart, look at this. Look at bye 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 bye. You know, so we'll see. Journal done. Trend review done.